Peasant Production presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Okay, just because it's amusing, it's somewhat funny to look at and think about. Like I said, you have an absolute guaranteed 6, 7 different things here that absolutely cause mutations in bacteria and virus and life forms, whatever, okay? You have a problem. It is out of hand. You cannot do anything about it. You have over here, the idea of viruses and bacteria and how they travel. Now, if you're a lottery player or a gambler of any sort, you understand the idea of what the odds are. That 1,000,001 winner, okay? If you have 1,000,000 viruses, 1,000,000 bacteria that are all being exposed to 7 different things here, obviously you have like 1 in 1,000,000 chance per week of a bacteria and a virus mutating into something new and different, and whether it strikes your crops, your water supply, your animals, or you humans itself, it doesn't matter. There's something that is potentially dangerous, isn't there? And you do not have any way of controlling how that might spread, because there's so many different ways and so many different viruses. So you understand the idea that you're at a point where you've way overloaded your survival with the idea that you're going to end up dead. Okay? So that is why I'm putting out this whole Operation International Space Station and Operation Snowball, Occupy ISS _ International Space Station, because it kind of needs to be done, and I'm not designed to commit suicide. I don't think along the lines of committing suicide. If my actions negatively affect my life, I change my actions. If my beliefs negatively affect things, I change my beliefs. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with this. People that have a Donald Trump level of intelligence obviously have a problem with looking at factual evidence and realizing you can't beat it. You cannot deny this stuff is going on, okay? And have any kind of logical processing thoughts, any kind of intelligence in your head, okay? It's just simply there. This is also very standard basic physiology of the environment of your entire planet. One thing I do not have on here, I think I might have added it in here somewhere, maybe not, is you also have the Arctic and you have the glacial retreat. And this is uncovering ground, rotted matter, in some cases dead animals, and even a few dead humans, the Iceman and stuff like that, that have the potential of having either a bacteria or a virus in it. And science has already proven that, bacteria and viruses both have had the ability to withstand extremes and survive for extreme lengths of time. So you're looking at the idea that, you have this absolute God-given damnation coming down on you. You humans are wanting to play God. Well, you've created this. Okay, now, like I said, every week you roll the dice, you have at least 2, 1 bacteria and 1 virus being created every week, every Friday. Bingo, just like the antivirus comes out on Friday, bingo, out come the viruses, So, and that takes humans, 6 months, a year to ID viruses. What's going to happen when you have that many coming out all the time? Yeah, you're in kind of trouble there. Now, like I said, I've got the Bible stuff here for me to laugh at. Prophecy, prophetic stuff, said to me over the years by other people. I'm even kind of meeting back into certain members of those circles and trying to see if they will talk to me about stuff, just for the fun of comparing notes and seeing where stuff is at. Historical evidence type of attitude. The thing is that, there's other things, like, for instance, your entire Native American, North America United States, Canada area had the idea that when the white buffalo showed up, there would be a process of change beginning that would return the lands to the Native Americans that had been pretty savagely ravished, and something would be possible to be done to try and help correct that or do something for the Native Americans, the First Nations. Africa has a similar, space aliens type of a thing, star people. North America has the star people. I believe I've heard in some of, if not Central, at least South America, some of the similar stuff with star people. We do know there's pyramids down there. We do know the Incas were extremely advanced for what the Christian and Catholic want you to believe. So there's a whole lot of stuff in a whole lot of different places. Even the Aborigines down in Australia, they understand a certain connection between space and life on this planet, and the possibility that there may have been some kind of help. Well, if I'm showing you how to get up into space and showing you how to build shuttles, not in the sense that you're going to get a whole lot of uses out of them, but they're lifeboats. All right, think about the refugees that are leaving war zones that the United States government has gone out and caused strictly for an oil war, or the Chinese have gone and caused, or the Russians have gone and caused. I mean, I don't care who you are. Herr Bokelman in Africa, who knows who he's working for? He's just going around raping and pillaging. Okay, all these destructive elements running around right now. They're all happy as get out. Okay, you have all of that mess going on. You are now a war zone. You need to get off of this planet because you don't have a choice. Okay? If you got 10 million people up there processing water and food and shipping it down, yeah, maybe the other few billion can survive a while longer. But your oxygen of your oceans are dying. You've got radiation all over this planet you don't know how to do anything about. And I'm not certain even I got any clues right now, outside of me having some kind of wonderful, bizarre starship appear out of nowhere that is, everything I would dream of having out of all of the science fiction I've read. Okay? Or beyond that with my spiritual connections even. But the thing is, think about it. I'm trying to offer you some kind of life. I am fulfilling all kinds of bits and pieces of prophecies all over. I've just been chatting with a Native American person who actually states in our conversation, there's supposed to be some white brother coming to help. Hey, I'm a whitey, and I definitely am against the arrogant elites that Christians and Catholics that took over. I definitely believe in the spiritual realm and the spiritual stuff, and I respect the First Nations beliefs. As far as I'm concerned, First Nations got the first choice to get up there onto anything I build. Any kind of habitations up there. Oh, speaking of which, I need to correct myself. I was having fun about the idea of the 1 mile diameter sphere for a life station. You could literally have close to 1 million people living inside the thing, and you have all that outside for recreation and solar electric, solar heating, solar cooling, farming, all that. Yes, you would have to invert some stuff, but think of the simple idea of some mirror reflecting the light in and down, and having domed areas. Monsanto I am not going to ban. I am, however, going to put an absolute rule that Monsanto, you stay the fuck out of any area that's designated as heritage plants. You don't mess with anything. Those plants have the right to live. You don't have the right to destroy them. Anyway, you have these domed areas, you have different things growing, and you obviously simply reflect the light in and around. You can be sitting like you're in an amusement park, staring up at the stars, and have, plants above you, below you, whatever. Tomatoes are great hanging. They just hang there, and they grow tomatoes hanging down, so that's not a problem. So, there's stuff that can work both ways. What was that guy? the Hanging Towers of whatever his name is. Yeah, that guy. It's out of that Bible book stuff, you know. But the Hanging Towers of Babylon or something like that. But yeah, anyways, you know, there's so many infinite possibilities that you need to stop and think about what I'm actually offering. You need to stop and think about, you know, I've got a little list here. I barely begin to tap into my head of stuff I can tell you about. I'm showing you that you can get up there, and by your own presence, you will create an economy. You will make your own products, your own food, your own survival. You'll have people going out there. One of the things I got here, you know, stop and think about the fact that out of the Bible, you know, beating weapons into plowshares. Yes, and what did I talk about? Taking nuclear bombs and stuff, and using that nuclear material first for building the smaller nuclear power plants for these shuttles. Okay, you've got all kinds of big, huge nuclear power plants, another one leaking in North America. You know, you got them all over the place. Go find these things, raid them for stuff, most of them for war. Now you're turning them to pieces, you know, to shuttle your butt up off of here. You don't have to worry about these things. Those are lifeboats. You got to get up there. I'll be quick about this. You know, you can be using the same ceramic, carbon fiber resins to be building a container that goes into the shuttle bay. This is actually a living quarters. You just bring it up there and just start plugging these suckers onto, you know, whatever. At the moment, you know, the International Space Station, you have to, you know, we have to figure out how to get some kind of receptor up there and get some workshops up there and start building stuff so that we can be making, you know, connection points for these cylinders by the time they start arriving. And not only that, but you got these shuttles. We know that because the planet has got volcanism and you know the earthquakes, and you got all these weather events and, you know, just stuff really happening all over, that one, places are going to get isolated. So we don't want to be just building shuttles here. We want to be building shuttles all the way around. Everybody has a chance to get in on this and get off the planet. Everybody's got litter in their backyard and in their front yard as well. You know, you got plenty of stuff to use, plenty of material to work with. You're building lifeboats to get off. And some of those lifeboats, because this nuclear power plant is going to keep going for a long time, besides being able to use them for taxis, we can also go ahead and start parking them up in space, and somebody can start working out at least a ground transmitting internet system so that people have something to tell them what's going on around the world that is not dependent on the planet itself anymore, because it is not a safe place to do it or keep it there. So you got the shuttles being taxis and farm equipment and manufacturing and you know, all the other things like that. You also got an internet system. You know, out in space, you got to have it anyways, right? You got to be able to communicate with everybody all over. You might as well be parking some of these things and putting them all over. You're trying to put out 1,000 a month. It ain't going to be any problem putting 1,000 of these things into, you know, geosynchronous orbits all around the planet, beaming energy and knowledge down, and, you know, and hopefully we can get some way of getting transmitters for people up, you know. But you got to do this. You got to make it happen. I can't be the only person that's actually logically thinking of the whole problem. But then again, you know, I don't know. People sleep.